In this video, we will take a look at how to use the Reclassify tool to turn a layer with a lot of values, like this slope layer, into something more like this or this, so it can be used in some type of overlay. First, go to the geoprocessing pane and search for the Reclassify tool. We're going to use the one from the Spatial Analyst toolbox. First thing to do is put in your input raster. For this example, we'll use slope. The reclass field will pretty much always be value unless you know that you have categorical data that might have a text column or something, but that's not as common. In this section here, we have the reclassification table, and it may show up with something automatically, or it may be empty like we see here. Either way, you can hit the classify button. And in here, you want to tell it how many classes you want. Take a look on the left. It depends on what it is you're doing. How many classes do you need? In a binary overlay, you might only need 2. For a weighted overlay, you need as many classes as you have on your suitability scale. In this example, it's a 1 to 4, so we would want 4 classes. For simplicity, we're just going to do 2 for now. If you ever go in here and it is grayed out, what you need to do is change it away from manual. If it's manual, it will be grayed out. You can't change classes. So just change it to anything else. Type in the number of classes you want, and then you have to know what your breakpoints are. For example, if I want slope values of 0 to 5 to become a 1, and everything 5 and higher to become a 0, then all I would do is type in 5 right here. Double click, type 5, hit enter, and leave the maximum value alone. Don't touch that one. Hit OK, and now it fills it in this little table. We have the start value and the end value that represents the low and high values for the original cell values in the input layer. And then the new column here is where we type in what we want the new value to be. So cells of 0 to 5, we want those to be a 1. Cells that are higher than 5, we want those to be a 0. Double click, type 0. You have to hit enter after every number to make it register. Even if I wanted to change it here, which I could, let's say I wanted it to be 8. Type 8, hit enter. And then again over here, type 8, hit enter. You have to hit enter after each number you type so it registers. Otherwise, it might revert back to what you had. If you want to do a little more in here, like you changed your mind and you want another class, you can just enter into the bottom row. So I could say, hey, maybe 8 to 10 will be some other number. Hit enter. And then it'll make a new one. If you don't want that one, highlight it, hit delete. The number of the end of one class should be duplicated in the beginning of the next class, and it will figure out that it's not inclusive, and it will do the greater than or equals to by itself. So you'd want to fill that out, give it a good name, reclass slope. If you need to apply any environments, don't forget to go here before you run the tool so you can control things like the extent. Make the bounding box be the same as some other layer like hillshade. If you want to force the cell size to be a certain number or the same as another layer, you can choose that here. If you want to apply a mask, if you look at the map here, notice that it only calculated cells out for a certain area, and that was because we used a mask of the buffer layer. So in here we can say use the buffer layer as a mask, and then the output cells will only go out that ½ mile. So make sure you're using the environments to apply any output properties. Make sure you double check your table before you hit OK for the start and end and new values. give it a good name, and then hit run. And that's how you use the Reclassify tool.